Hello, hello. I'm doing good. How are you? Thank you so much for the kind words, Nilmi. I'm also glad you're a part of this community. Destroyer, thank you for the 10 months. Dragonfire, thank you for the 3. And everyone else who subscribed during the starting soon screen. I saw all of you. I appreciate all of you. Welcome to the final stream of 2024. Yeah. It's gonna be a fun one, I think. We have a pretty fun presentation planned for the 2024 Card Design Awards. Oh, Chris, thank you for the gifts up. Also, the Valorant, I understand the Valorant thingy now. I was so confused last time when I got subs from the Valorant account on Christmas. It confused me a lot. But now I get it. I've heard of it. I understand why now. Apparently it's some kind of sponsoring thing where like Valorant has is paying Twitch to gift subs whenever someone else gifts subs, something like that. I don't know, but now I get it. Nice, Hendrix, thank you for the 32 months. Appreciate you as well. All right, you guys. Of course, I do hope you guys had a good 2024. I hope you guys will have a good or a happy new year as well. Today is going to be the last stream of the year. We're going to have a couple of fun things to talk about. We're going to do our regular start of the stream. We're going to have the warm-up. We're going to talk about some new cards. And then we're going to get into a little bit of the length of today's stream. I don't know exactly how long it's going to take because I have one big thing prepared for it. And then we're also going to give away the rest, or like a second wave of these cloud card grading Joshua Schmidt graded cards. Once we're done with those, we're probably just going to call it a day. I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly how long it's going to take. Regis, thank you for the 10. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And also Valorant, thank you for the 2. I don't think I should say that every time because they're not here. Anyways, they won't hear it. Nekiaris, thank you for the 17. Yeah. So that is the plan for today. I don't know if it's going to be short, actually. The presentation, the card game awards, the card design awards are going to take quite a while, I think. I think we put a nice presentation together. And when I say we, it was mostly my fiance. It was just me sitting next to her when she made the presentation because I don't know how to do that stuff. And she made it look nice. And I was just there to tell her what cards to use for what archetype and stuff like that. So that was my contribution. But yeah, we'll do that after. We could do some predictions for 2025 Yu-Gi-Oh after. Like, look, if this doesn't go this long, I'm down to have some like just chatting about Yu-Gi-Oh for 2025 after. Yeah, depending on how long this goes. There's this legit a design ideas option in PowerPoint. See, I don't have PowerPoint, so joke's on you. Anyways, let's warm up. Let's guess some cards. Software engineer, by the way, as if that had something to do with making a PowerPoint presentation. Sales pitch? No. Sales ban? Nope. Single purchase? One of those, dude. Nope, not that either. Recall. All right. Sick. Good talk. Should have skipped. This feels familiar. That's an Ignite. Oh, the problem is... Oh, nice. I guessed it. All right, sick. I'm the best. Zombie vibes for sure. Or Infernoid. Misk? I would just shut up. You guys are right. This thing. Is that a speedroid? That is a speedroid, right? Speedroid. Piper? Speedroid Piper. All right. That's a Gem Knight. That is Gem Knight. Is that Lazuli or Lapis? It is Lazuli. You guys are lying to me. Straight up lying. Everyone said Lapis. I'm on my own out here. Okay, that is Fossilier. Whatever. How do I, okay, how do I spell this thing? Dual mode beast. This one. Fusilier. Not lying, just gaslighting. Okay, that's much better. Yeah, sick. Secret Blast? No. It's one of those, they play this in Burn. Bad Luck Blast? Ah. I knew it was I knew we were blasting. I don't know what exactly we were blasting, but we're blasting bad luck. What is this? This reminds me of this kids show with the dinosaurs. I don't know what this is. Submarine tour guide. Okay. Yeah, the one with Littlefoot. That is Light Dragon Adignister. This stupid Gusto bird, man. I hate him. Eagles. Eagles. Getting vanilla vibes. It's the armored zombie, right? Armored zombie? Is that a thing? That's a thing, right? Yeah. It looks like a train card, but I don't know which one it is. Monster Express. Okay. We're not doing too hot so far. This is something Gust of... Something Gust. No, it's not Gust Fan. Against the Wind? Ah. I knew it was a Blackwing card that isn't called Blackwing. That is the Tenny? Ran Ryu Run? Oh. Right. Wait, Ran Ryu? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not doing too hot today. Feels like I'm thinking in the wrong directions all the time. What is this? That is a clear wing card, but it's a pendulum synchro monster, I think. Clearing fast dragon. I have no idea. That could just be Rainbow Dragon. No. Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon then? Yeah. That's Vendred. That's definitely Vendred. Those are Vendred Revenants. Yeah. This tuning wear? This is tuning wear. Mega Fortress Whale. Yeah. This is a synchron. Is this Necro synchron? Or Flare synchron? Or whatever. I need one more zoom. It might not be a synchron. Oh god, okay, it's the ambuloid this whatever. Yeah. That was the worst possible zoom they could have given me. I'm making excuses. War Rock? I think that's it. Could also be an Amazonas. But I do not know. War Chief. Amazonas War Chief. Alright, sick. Scrap Beast. Those are empowered. White Tiger? White Tiger Summoner. It was not empowered. Alright, sick. Vacuum Woman. Mm-hmm. Cybernetic Fusions. No. Is it not a cybernetic card? I think it is. Maybe it's not. Okay, I've been... Dude. These cards throw me off. They always look like something they're not. That is like charging something. Something charge. There's so many. Quick charger? What is this? I know what that is. ZS Armed Sage. Okay. Oh, that's Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon doing something. Odd Eyes Advent. Pendulum Encore. All right. Is that Labyrinth? I don't think so. I feel like Labyrinth has more Dogmatica Nation. Dogmatica Nation. All right. Numeron Calling. Yeah. Plankton. All right. A shark. Wonderful. I'm an expert at those. What is this? It might not even be a shark. Nashnite. That one. Nashnite. Okay. Oh, the ninjutsu scroll, I think. Is it not called scroll? Ninjutsu Notebook? No. Ah, we played this. It was Notebook. It wasn't Scroll. Okay. It was Notebook. It was just a different Notebook. I have no idea what's going on here. Magician's Restage. Giga washed up. Yeah, today is not the greatest. Oh, that's Simul Archfiends, isn't it? Let's go. 2 points collected. Card of Sacrifice. Card of Sacrifice. Okay. Oh, Doom Shaman. No idea. Viral Discharge. This is Punk, I think. That's Deer Note. No. Princess. Yeah. Oh, that's the Red Eyes Meteor Dragon. This one. Oh, this is old. This is old. This is one of the Element Magician, I think. Yeah. Oh. Is that VFD? No. First of the Dragons. Not VFD. Dragoonity. Oh god, which Dragoonity is it? Elum, I think. Oh my god, 598. I was hoping for 600. I zoomed too much. I thought we could still get it with that zoom, but all right. Hey, not my proudest work, okay? Not my proudest work. Next year will be better. The year ends as it started. Shut up. It wasn't. We had good rounds this year sometimes. It wasn't all bad. All right, we're looking for a low-level dark monster, level 1, 2, 3, with high attack, low defense, and newer than 2015. All right, so like, it could be a link, like a decode talker situation. It is not a link. It is a level 3 though. It is a level 3 with 2018 or up. Havness is not a bad guess. Yeah, Havness would work because that is 1600 attack. It is not Havness, and it is not just an effect monster. So it could be, what, Pendulum? Pendulum, or it could also be a Synchro. Is there a Synchro 3 with 1600 attack? What level 3 Synchros are there even? There's not that many. The cat is level 3, right? Oh, that is 1600 attack. Wait. Oh, that's it. Oh, okay. Kamizen Samsara Soro Cat. All right. It's actually not a bad card. I have tried messing around with this card at some points in the past. I haven't ended up actually using it, but it's not a terrible card. All right. All right. 6 Royal Kings, thank you for the 13 months. Happy New Year's to you as well. Also, Yannick Siru and Phenomenal829, thank you guys so much for the subs earlier. All right. That being said, warm up out of the way, let's get into the content for today. Once again, we have only a couple of things planned for today. First up, we're going to look at some new cards that were announced during the last couple of days where I wasn't live, just to get a quick look at them. After that, we're going to be hosting the 2024 Card Game Awards, or Card and Game Design Awards for Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically, I have gathered opinions of over 1,000 people on what they thought went well in Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2024 and what they thought didn't go as well in 2024. So we're going to take a look at that. We have a nice presentation for it for both TCG and Master Duel. So that's going to be fun. Once we're done with that, we basically have we're basically done. We can just yap a little bit about what we expect from Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2025. We'll do a little bit of yapping and just chatting and hang out until we call it a day. That is the plan for the day. It should be chill. And then we also, at some point, we have the remaining 20 of these graded cards from Cloud Card Grading to give away to you guys as well, because I did say we were gonna do that at the end of the year stream. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna just do that in the middle somewhere, probably after the awards. So yeah, first thing on the agenda, we're taking a look at the card Dragon's Mind from Alliance Insight. We don't have too many cards from Alliance Insight to look at. I think they haven't published too many, but this is one of them, and it is a counter trap card. Patty, thank you for the 22. Dragon's Mind, counter trap card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated and you control a monster with 2500 original attack or defense, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. If this card is in your graveyard, you can pay 2,500 life points, set this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay. Now, I think this card reads pretty good. The problem is that it's a trap card. Period, basically. But it's a trap card that doesn't work super well in trap decks, right? Because trap decks are not the best at consistently putting out monsters. Beatrice can search that. I mean, technically, yeah. If Beatrice was still legal, Beatrice could just set an Omni-Negate, basically. I don't know. I think this card sounds stronger than it is. Also, hold up. Let me check something real quick. Okay. I was just making sure that the artwork made sense because I wasn't sure. I thought Seiya Ryu or whatever it's called had like 2300 attack, but turns out it's actually okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's 2500 attack. I just had to make sure for my own sake whether I could be happy with this artwork or not. Otherwise, I would have hated the card. But it is 2500. Yeah, you okay. This is definitely a useful card. The question is, like, will you ever put this into your decks before you play cards like Solemn Judgment or Solemn Strike, which are already in not that many decks, right? Like Solemn Judgment and Solemn Strikes are good Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like we know that, but you're not putting them into many decks, especially game one, right? So only because a deck can play this card, it's still like, will they actually play it? Because at the end of the day, the problem with this card is that in order to put a monster onto the field, you have to be somewhat playing the game, right? You have to be like, you can't use this when you brick. You can't use this when your opponent stops your plays completely, all that kind of stuff. So like, but there, obviously it is a very, very, it's a very simple condition. There's a lot of monsters with 2500 original attack or defense, right? Like 2500 is a very common number in Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm sure there will be some decks that, that'll play this card. Ryziel can play it? Yeah, Ryziel can play it, but I don't think Ryziel will play it. Because if I'm playing a Ryziel deck and I know I'm going first, I would still rather play Solemn Judgment or Solemn Strike. Because what if I don't draw a Ryziel monster? Then I just have another dead card in my hand. What if I only draw one Ryziel monster and my opponent uses their impermanence on my normal summon of Ice Ryziel, and then I just pass, right? Like for all these cases, there's cards like Solemn Judgment that probably do this job better, right? But it's not a bad card at all. Voiceless could play it, but they would probably rather play Judgment. I think that's a general issue with this card, right? I think there's a lot of decks that could theoretically like imagine playing this card, but they won't, because in terms of like just drawing a counter trap, Judgment is just better. However, there could also obviously be some use cases for the graveyard effect, right? Like there could be a deck where you mill a lot, right? Like for example, Tearlaments I could see Tearlaments playing one copy of this if they're playing Foolish Burial Goods already to send Salic or something. That could be something, right? Like, because Rule Colossus 2500 defense, right? So like, you know, you play one copy of this. If you ever mill it, then sure, free counter trap. Runic White Forest, yeah, free discard. You discard it for Hugin, or you send it for one of your White Forest cards, and then you get it back for free. In those kind of decks, I could see this card being like a solid one of, if you're making use of the graveyard effect consistently, right? Element already has Crime, fair enough. Yeah, a lot of those decks already have other options for counter traps. But this deck this card is still it's solid. I could see it being used at some point. I don't think it's going to be like a 3-of to replace cards like Solemn Judgment. I think it would rather be like a 1-of index that can access it with like Foolish Burial Goods or something like that. But it's not a bad card. And then we have NT8000 Sirius, which is a level 8 Dark Machine. 2300 attack, 2500 defense. You can lose Dragon's Mind with it. Why does it not have to be a dragon, by the way? The card's called Dragon's Mind. Anyways. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name once per turn. This linked card cannot be destroyed by battle. During a turn, a link monster activated an effect, quick effect. You can target a face-up card on your field and one face-up card on your opponent's field. Destroy those 2 cards. Okay, so it's a quick effect Scrap Dragon if a link monster has activated its effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, except from the field, and you control a Dark Link monster, you can special summon this card, but it leaves the field if it's banished. No, if it leaves the field, it is banished. All the way around. Okay. It's a really good send-off nightmare. It is a Dark Machine. Oh yeah, that's probably it, right? Oh, that's probably what it's meant to be. It's probably meant to be Orcus support, right? Because it also works well with Link monsters. So like yeah. Orcus can even recycle it, right? Because it'll banish itself, but then Orcus can put it back into the deck because it's not Orcus are not just they don't have to put back Orcus monsters. It's just Dark Machines. Yeah, it's a free agent for Orcus. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so what's the idea here? You're supposed to send it to the graveyard from your deck somehow, whatever you use for it, right? Send it with Foolish Burial, send it with Orchestrated Nightmare, whatever you want to do, while you have already made a Dark Link monster, whether it be Galatea or the Orcus Link 1 or whatever it is, right? You just send it. Then it comes back. you get a pop. Well, you get a pop for 2 cards, one on your side, one on your opponent's side. So like you do have to lose a card yourself. It could also be a free discard. Yeah, it could also be a free discard for the Link 1. And then you have the decision of, hey, will I link this off? Like, do I link climb with this, or do I leave it on the field? Because this can be another pop on your opponent's turn if you just let it like stay on the board. Or you could also like, let's say this card is not part of your first turn combo, but like you have Babble up on your opponent's turn. So you can send it on your opponent's turn with Orchestrated Nightmare, and then it comes back, and then you get a pop from it. Like the way I see it, I feel like this card would take the spot that Gizmek Orochi used to have in old Orchest, right? You remember that? Like Gizmek was not usually part of most of your first turn combos. Like you would usually be fine with just your Orchest part, but then in later turns, because Orchest has such a good like recursion, once you have the Orchest cards in rotation, you often ran into the thing of like, hey, what do I send with my Orchestrated Nightmare? Because I already have my Symbol Skeleton in rotation. Like, I don't really need it anymore. So, like, I'm just going to send, like, Gizmek Orochi, which is going to be, like, a free body on future turns. And maybe I can even get the pop effect, right? So, this is, like, a better version of that card. Now, the question is, like, will this be good enough? Will Orchest in general be good enough to see play is another question. And if Orchest sees any play, is this card good enough to be like included in that deck? Which I don't hate the design on this card in the context of Orchest. With Orchest specifically, I think this card makes sense, and I could definitely see trying it. Like, I could definitely see trying to play this card in an Orchest deck, and it might end up being good enough. So I think this card is not bad. When I read it first time, I thought like, hey, this is kind of weird, but with Orchest in mind, I think it makes more sense. It's pretty cool. I like it. I actually do like it. All right. And then we have another free agent support. I think this one is for Dragon Maids, or so I've heard. Forbidden Princess of the Fairy Dragons, Philia Regis, level 8 Dark Dragon Fusion Effect Monster, 3000 attack, 2500 defense. Materials, a Dragon Fusion monster, plus a level 7 or higher Dragon monster. Is this a new Super Poly combination unlocked? Is that interesting in any way? Probably not, right? 2 dragons you could already fuse together, probably. But sure. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. During the main phase, quick effect, you can target a card your opponent controls or in their graveyard, banish it, then if you banish the card from the field, return a dragon monster you control to the hand. At the start of your opponent's battle phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can return a dragon monster you control to the hand or extra deck, and if you do, special summon this card. Okay. The first effect, I think, is a very valuable disruption, right? You get to choose a card in the graveyard or field to banish it, and a banish is a pretty good disruption, especially from the graveyard, where this is also free, right? Like when you banish from the field, you have to return one of your own dragons to the hand. If you banish from the graveyard, you don't. So like there's no drawback to just banishing a card from the graveyard. That's pretty nice. Quick effect DD Crow, with the option to also banish from field. The second effect, this is the one that makes me think of Dragon Maids, right? Like, at the start of your opponent's battle phase, if this card's in your graveyard, return a dragon you control to the hand or extra deck, and then special summon this card. Can bounce a Bestial? Can bounce a Bestial, that is true. There are some dragon monsters, like Bestials, that are nice if you can, like, recover them back to your hand. That could be nice. My problem is, how do I summon this card? Like, what's the idea here? Because it doesn't include any of its own ways. Like, there's no own mechanic to summon it. Like, it doesn't like cheat the fusion system somehow. You have to actually fuse for this thing. So I'm like, I'm just wondering, because we've read the new Dragon Maid cards, but it's been a while. How easy would it be for Dragon Maids to summon this card? And also, because whenever you're summoning this thing, you're not summoning, you're skipping a different option. Is this the best option in Dragon Maids to fusion summon into? We never read them. Wait, we didn't? Hold up. I think for context for this one, I think it might be important to check the new Dragon Maid cards. I feel like we did. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I forgot to ever look at the Dragon Maid cards. Let me check. Happy New Year, Darkor. Appreciate you. Also, Brago, thank you for the 27 months. Happy New Year to you as well. And Fabulol, thank you as well. Hold up. Dragon Maid. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I've read these. Hold up. I don't remember this artwork, at least. I don't think I've looked at this. Dragon Maid Stern. Dark Dragon level 9. You can only use this card name's first and third effect once per turn each. You can discard this card. Special summon a Dragon Maid from grave or banishment. Dragon fusions you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. At the end of the battle phase, you can return this card to your hand, and if you do, special summon a level 4 or lower Dragon Maid from your hand. This seems very underwhelming. Isn't it? Look, I'm not too deep in like I guess this is like is this the big one? Because there's for Dragon Maids, there's always a small one and a big one, right? But House Dragon Maid, did House Dragon Maid ever have a big counterpart? Or not House, Chamber. Chamber is what I meant. Chamber didn't have a big one, right? Yeah, okay. Dragon Maid Lattice. Light Dragon. Materials, two Dragon Maid monsters with the same attribute, but different levels. Must be special summoned from your extra deck by banishing one each of the above cards from your field and graveyard. Okay, so you have to have one on the field, one in the graveyard. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can special summon a level 4 lower Dragon Maid from your deck. During the standby phase, you can fusion summon a Dragon Fusion from your extra deck by shuffling its materials from your field and their banishment into the deck. Okay. All right, so you would make this thing, which is very easy. It summons one from the deck, which is very good. And then you would pass the turn, and during your opponent's standby phase, you have the option of fusion summoning this by recycling some of your things from grave or banishment. And then you have both of these. Or I guess you could also use this as fusion material. You can duality this into that. Sure. I guess if you wanted to play duality in this deck, you could, yeah. But then, like, you're not making... Doesn't Dragon Maid have an Omni Negate fusion monster? True, right? So, like, wouldn't you rather make that one? You can make both? Okay. Dragon Maid. Ooh, where is it? Dragon Maid monster plus a level 5 or higher dragon monster. Each standby phase, special summon a level 9 or lower Dragon Maid from your hand or grave. When your opponent activates a card or effect, negate the activation. If you do that, destroy that card, special summon a House Dragon. Yeah, you would. This is much better, right? You fuse. Okay, so I guess this card is. I could see this being okay in Dragon Maids for sure. The question is, how often are you gonna not make Shu and make this instead? I guess sometimes you would have the option to make both, in which case it's fine. I'm guessing this could be a solid option that you play in your extra deck as a one-of, just in case it comes up. You know, it could come up, for sure. It's not a bad card. Right? Like, you'd play one copy, and then it comes up sometimes. Not that much, but, like, fine. You know, that's the good thing about extra deck options. I'm not entirely sure how tight the space is in the Dragon Maid extra deck. No idea. Furious is probably more relevant. I mean, there's nothing wrong. If you have the space for it, then you would also play Borreload Furious Dragon. You could also play that one, right? But, like, this is not a bad card, only because there's other options to fuse into. So I could see this being all right. Okay, so we've got a couple of solid support cards today. Nothing too crazy here between these three, but all three. What I like about these is that they make you think. Right? They're not like obviously broken, but they're also not bad. The more you think about them, you can find applications for them in like existing decks without being like, oh, auto include definitely super broken. So I like that. I think these are all cool cards that are realistically playable without being too broken or terrible. So I think it's pretty cool. Oh yeah, you have a couple of new emotes, by the way. In case anyone hasn't noticed yet, I've updated, or my fiance has updated some of the sub emotes. So in case you hope you like some of them. We're getting some more soon as well. So yeah. Is this the Tielemans Kid Carlos incident? No, we're getting to that now. Okay, so what we're doing next is we're doing the 2024 Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Design Awards. I'll tell you all about that in a second. But it's basically I have a presentation for it, right? Like we're gonna have a nice PowerPoint presentation. And after the last one that I made, where it looked very, very basic, my fiance, she's now helping me with a couple of things regarding content creation. She decided to step in and help me make a more visually pleasing presentation for this one, which was very nice of her. But and it does look a lot nicer than the one that I made last time, so it'll be cool. But she obviously had to ask me for some of the images, like, hey, which card should I use for this answer? Like, if everyone said, here, there's this Tierlament answer that I'm gonna include, which picture do you want me to include for Tierlaments? And so I sat next to her and I was like, yeah, just Google Tierlaments Kikkalos. You're gonna find the image, right? And so I look over, and this is what she Googled. And I just thought it was hilarious. The thought of it, like a card called Tierlament Kid Carlos. In my head, I was immediately thinking of like a small version of Kikkalos, like Spanish or Mexican Kikkalos was like, me gusta el 1800. It was very funny. So I tweeted it. It was very cool. But hey, it did deliver. Google did know the answer, so my search looks the same sometimes. Yeah, this is I mean, Kid Carlos kind of looks like kind of sounds like that. Josh streams too much with Parfa. Nah, this is funny. All right. That being said, let us begin with our presentation. Google correcting Tearlaments, but not Kid Carlos was funny to me. Yeah. Did you mean Tearlament Kid Carlos? Because I've got some results for that. All right. Okay. Let me see. I think I have to use a different OBS scene for this one. Yeah. All right. What we're doing next, guys, is the 2024 Yu-Gi-Oh! Card and Game Design Awards, which is something that I made it up. It was my idea to do that a couple of weeks ago. And so what it is basically I wanted to hear community voices on what you guys thought was good in the year 2024 in Yu-Gi-Oh's card and game design and what wasn't as good. And so what I've done, use this, otherwise I'll be blocking too much of the screen, so we're going to use this scene for this. What I've done is I have asked you guys what your opinion was, and we have reached over 1,300 people with this, which I thought was very cool. Thank you everyone for participating. 1,376 answers on the poll, to be exact. It was a Google form that we had where you guys could give me input on your opinions on different things that we're going to talk about now for both TCG and Master Duel. So I'm going to walk you guys through this wonderful presentation of the results, and we can have a little bit of a yap about what we liked and what we didn't like for both TCG and Master Duel. And I also have included, for every single question, I have made sure to include my own choice at the end, so that we can have a little bit of a talk about what everyone liked and what everyone didn't like in terms of just this is purely based on card design. You know, there's other things, but like we're talking about like, hey, which cards were fun, which cards were well designed, which cards were not as fun or not as well designed, all this kind of stuff we're gonna talk about. All right, so first up, we asked everyone in the beginning of the thing whether they were a trading card game or Master Duel player or both. That way we only get the answers for the game that we're looking for. Like, we didn't ask non-Master Duel players any Master Duel questions, and we didn't ask any non-TCG player non-TCG related questions. Out of those almost 1,400 participants, we had 70% TCG players and 55% Master Duel players, roughly. So those are the numbers we're looking at there. We're going to start with some of the TCG questions first, which came out to about 963 answers from the TCG side. And the first question was, what is, in your opinion, or what was, in your opinion, the most powerful deck in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game in 2024? This one, relatively dominant, response here. We've got in third place Tenpai with 1.97% of votes. In second place, Yubel with 11.53% of votes. And in first place, to no one's surprise, Snake Eyes. 85% of responses said Snake Eyes was the most powerful deck in the TCG in 2024. And my choice, it goes without saying. Oh, before my choice, actually, the Fiend Schmidt appeared in 29.49% of responses. But I told her to not make that its own column because the Fiendsmith, like, it was often mentioned with Snake Eyes. It was often mentioned with Yubel. There was only a few people that mentioned the pure Fiendsmith deck on its own. So I figured, I don't think that qualifies as the most powerful deck, but I still wanted to bring up the number that, like, the Fiendsmith engine was very represented in this question as well. It was just like most of them said Snake Eye Fiendsmith, which I just put under Snake Eye, or Yubel Fiendsmith, which are under Yubel. But it is a very powerful engine that was mentioned a lot. Now, for my own choice in this category, we're going with Snake Eye, of course. I feel like it is very hard to debate Snake Eyes being the most powerful and most dominant deck in 2024. So yeah, you can, by the way, you can tell the difference between this PowerPoint and my last one. So shout outs to my fiance for helping me with that. She did a good job. But yeah, it truly was the year of fire with a small break of Yugioh format. But yeah. Ryziel and Malice were not really mentioned in this yet. I do think it wouldn't have been fair to even compare Ryziel to full power Snake Eyes, right? Because like when you look at the whole year of 2024, this is not only the current version of Snake Eyes, it's also the freaking like full power Snake Eye in the beginning of the year. Ryziel would not have been as powerful in the beginning of 2024. I do think the power level has gone down with the nerfs we've seen to Snake Eye. Full power Snake Eye, people would not really have played as much Ryziel in that format. All right. The second question then was, what, in your opinion, was the most overrated deck in the trading card game 2024? We've got less powerful responses here, nothing to the extent of 80%. In third place of most overrated deck in the TCG in 2024, we have Snake Eyes as well. I don't exactly know. Hey, look, I don't make the data here. But apparently the 85% thought that Snake Eyes was the most powerful deck in 2024, and then out of the remaining 15%, a bunch of people thought Snake Eyes just wasn't as good. Which, hey, look, I'm not changing the stats up in any way. This is what people said. It's not my fault, but they did say 10%. I don't know. I don't agree with this. I'm just presenting the data. But hey, 10% said Snake Eyes was overrated, which, okay, I don't know which tournaments you played in 2024, but maybe you thought it was overrated. Fair enough. All right. Please buff Snake Eyes, I suppose. Please Snake Eyes support soon. Tenpai, 17.24% thought Tenpai was overrated. I can get behind that. You know, like Tenpai, even though Tenpai was a very annoying deck to play against, I do think that is a fair thing to say. You know, Tenpai was not as powerful or dominant as maybe people expected it to be, but it was still very... I mean, it was played a lot. I do think Tenpai was a little overrepresented, just because it was like, it had other things going for it, right? Like, it was not as hard to play. It also, before Fuvelos, it was a very decent budget options as well. In terms of its raw power level, it was probably a little bit overrepresented, especially, this is TCG, right? Remember, we're going to have the same questions for Master Duel later. And then in first place, we have the Voiceless Voice for the trading card game as one of the most overrated decks of 2024. 17.34% said Voiceless Voice was the most overrated deck in 2024. And I also picked Voiceless Voice. I think in the TCG, Voiceless Voice just wasn't as good. It's actually a quite solid deck in Master Duel. And we're getting to that later. In the TCG, I think this deck was very underwhelming, especially if you consider that, like, at the time when it came out, Low, I think, was the most expensive card in the set for a while. Like, it just the secret rare, right? Disregarding any quarter centuries. I think Low was the most expensive secret rare for a while, and then eventually dropped hard when people just realized, like, it's not as good. It was not a bad deck, but that's the thing. Overrated does not mean the deck was bad, but it just didn't really deliver. And I think, like, Voiceless Voice definitely didn't deliver what people were expecting it to do. So yeah, that is that. And then on the flip side, we have the most underrated deck in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game 2024, which we have in third place, Voiceless Voice as well. These are the defenders. This is the coin. And this makes sense because in this case, I think it makes sense because you have 17% of people who just said Voiceless Voice sucks. And then now we have the defenders, the people that spent $60 on their lows when it came out and played it for a long time because they just thought it was good. And they were, I'm definitely seeing this every time I mention Voiceless Voice somewhere. There's people who think Voiceless Voice is terrible. And then there's people who think Voiceless Voice is actually much better than people give it credit for. And so that was their section. So Voiceless Voice made it to third place in most underrated deck in the TCG as well. In second place, we have Ritual Beast. Ritual Beast, understandably so, was a deck that not a lot of people played, but it did relatively well despite not that many people playing it, right? It was a deck that people just, like, it's a very complicated deck, hard to play, so not a lot of people had it on their radar, not a lot of people really committed to playing that deck, but the people that did relatively well with it. So Ritual Beast makes a second place here. And in first place, the most underrated deck in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game 2024, according to the participants of this survey, 14.64% Memento. And I do think this is a pretty solid choice. I do think Memento was a very powerful deck that just slightly fell behind other combo decks like Yubel and Snake Eyes for the entirety of the year. I do think Memento was a very powerful deck at certain points in 2024. It was just slightly overshadowed by Snake Eye and Yubel, and it was also just not very much explored, I feel like. There's a few people who really went into Memento and they did well with it. I know that I considered it for YCS Bologna for a while. I ended up not going with it because I thought the Fiendsmith deck was just better. But I do think Memento is a fair pick in your most underrated deck in 2024. For my personal choice, I've actually chosen something that isn't part of the top three. I've chosen Azamina, and what I mean by this is not Azamina Snake Eyes, because obviously everyone knew, like, hey, Deception is a good starter for Snake Eyes. But when I looked at the Azamina cards, or when I also look at the Azamina cards moving forward, I think people are not giving enough credit to the power of those cards individually, separated from Snake Eyes. Like, I've seen very, very little exploration with the Azamina engine and the Azamina cards in other decks. And I do think that is something that going into the future now with Snake Eye and Original being banned, I'm hoping that people will do a little bit more with the Azamina cards. I think it's a very strong engine that people have only looked at through the lens of, hey, I can search Original Sinful Spoils with this, when, like, they have so many other great qualities to them, like great synergy with White Forest. They have also infinite grind game with an Omni Negate that you can summon every single turn. So I thought this was just one of the things that, like, deserved a spot on here. Otherwise, I would also agree with Memento and Ritual Beast, but I just wanted to put something else in here that also was underrated in my opinion. Next up, we have the most fun deck in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game 2024. This was the deck that you guys enjoyed the most to play or play against. Here we have in third place, 4.8% of votes, Mimighoul, which I can get behind. I think the Mimighoul concept sounded very, very fun. Problem obviously being it was a TCG exclusive archetype, so it didn't get as much love as it could have gotten, but it also had the very unfortunate timeline of being released basically in the same set as Dominus Impulse, and that card just basically invalidated the strategy. But I think it was, whenever I've seen it being played, it looked very fun, and it was a very fun concept that wasn't super competitive, but still, that's not what this category is about. 10.49% said White Forest. Whether that is Runic White Forest or Centurion White Forest or whatever else, Toy Box, the White Forest deck was in second place here, which I do also agree with. I think White Forest was a very, very fun deck to play. I liked it a lot. I think it was a very, very cool archetype that I wish had seen a little bit more competitive play. But obviously decks like Snake Eyes and Yubel definitely overshadowed it there. And in first place, 14.02%, we have Fiendsmith. And this time around, this was mostly pure Fiendsmith. In this category, people actually mentioned pure Fiendsmith over something like Fiendsmith Yubel. We did differentiate between those when we looked at the answers for this question. So, and I honestly, I know you guys hate those hand traps, but the Fiendsmith engine itself, very, very fun. My pick for the most fun deck in the Trading Card Game 2024 was still White Forest. I loved White Forest. Because I realized that the reason why I had so much fun playing the Fiendsmith deck at those YCSs as well is mostly because, I mean, one of the YCSs I had more fun at because it was Ryziel format rather than rather than Snake Eye format and Yubel format. That's why YCS Anaheim was more fun for me. It wasn't just because I played the Fiendsmith deck. It was because the other decks were different. So that's why I put White Forest still. I think that deck, like, nothing surpasses the fun I had while playing Runic White Forest in 2024. I really like the Fiendsmith deck as well. That's a very close second to me. But the White Forest deck ultimately takes the cake for me. All right. All the meta haters in chat are mad about Fiendsmith being fun. That's the thing. It did reach 14%, right? Like there's also a lot of people that said other things, but ultimately this, you have to realize that this is also something that, because of it reached mostly my audience, right? Like this is not everyone in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Obviously when I post a poll, I'm happy about getting as many participants in the poll as we did, but obviously I am aware it is mostly the competitive side of Yu-Gi-Oh. And I think in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, I think it's very fair to think that Fiendsmith was the most fun deck in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh in 2024. I actually, the top two here are also my top two, just the other way around. But like both of these decks were very fun. But that is obviously very, very subjective. All right. The most annoying deck in the trading card game in 2024. We have a winner with 47% over here, but in third place with 10%, we have Snake Eye. Only third place. Hey, only third place for Snake Eye, even though it was perceived as the most powerful deck of the year. It was not perceived as the most annoying. Keep that in mind. Second place, we have Yubel. So even though, once again, I think this is interesting because it goes deeper than just a deck powerful grrr. Snake Eye was perceived as by far the most powerful deck of the year. Yubel still twice as many people that put Snake Eye in most annoying. Like twice as many people put Yubel as most annoying. But then in first place, obviously, completely overshadowing these two decks in terms of annoying, we've got Tenpai. Tenpai, 47.46% of respondents said Tenpai was the most annoying deck of 2024. And I do agree with that. I do agree with that. I also put Tenpai as the most annoying deck of 2024. Although I will say for me also Yubel was a very, 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 very close second place in this category. I also was annoyed by preparing for YCS Lil, which was going to be mostly Yubel and Tenpai. So yeah, that is that category. Now we have not only most overrated deck, but we also have the most overrated card in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game 2024, and I think this one is interesting. We have in third place with only 3.43%. There was a lot of different answers in this one. Also, there was a lot of people who answered with older cards. Like saying like, oh, Nibiru was overrated in 2024, but obviously the question was which card that came out in 2024 was overrated. So I had to exclude some of those answers, like people saying Nibiru and stuff like that. But in third place, we have Transaction Rollback. 3.43% thought that Transaction Rollback was the most overrated card in 2024. Fair enough, you know, with how people overreacted to how powerful Rollback was. I think that's a fair point. Like, yes, the concept of this card is very, very powerful. But it just turns out that trap decks are not a problem in the sense that, like, you know, you're copying normal trap cards and not continuous trap cards for the most part. So yeah, Rollback was third place. Second place, we have Molcharmy Perulia. 8.6% thought Molcharmy Perulia was the most overrated card in 2024. And 26.27%. Can you guess what the most overrated card, according to the community, was in 2024? It was, in fact, Molcharmy Fuvalos. Molcharmi Fuvalos, 26% thought it was the most overrated card in the trading card 2024. And now I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. Before you guys and say and question mark, I picked the same card. I picked the same card. Let me explain, all right? I picked the same card because overrated, in my opinion, does not mean that the card is bad. The card did turn out to be a good Yu-Gi-Oh card. But when this card was announced, people went crazy over it. People thought like this card is gonna kill the game. This card is the new Maxi, all that. And I'm including myself in that. I still remember my initial reaction at this card being very skeptical and very negative about it. Turns out, I think this card is actually fine, and I actually liked it when it came out. I actually thought it did good things for the game when it was released, because it wasn't too broken. It didn't auto-win games. It only punished the decks that I think deserved to be punished, like Yugioh. That was the main thing that happened after Fuvalos came out, was Yugioh kind of fell off because it was the most powerful deck before, but it was also the deck with the worst plan into Fuvalos, so it kind of fell off. Fuvalos itself didn't feel like it was as powerful and as broken as people made it out to be. It didn't auto-win every single game you activated it. It was a lot of the time only a side deck card, and often you didn't even play it at all. I didn't play it in my most recent in some of my most recent decks, and I think the card is actually way more balanced than people thought it was, and that's why I think it was overrated. I'm not saying it's a bad card at all. It's a good card. Don't worry. I am aware Fuvalos is a very powerful card that will see play moving forward, but it is just not as broken as people think it is, in my opinion. And once again, this is very, very subjective. 26% of people did say Molcharmi Fuvalos was the most overrated card in 2024. On the flip side, most underrated card in the trading card game 2024, we've got 3 responses. In third place, we have Molcharmi Purulia. Some people thought it was overrated. Some people thought it was underrated. In second place, we have Dominus Purge, 8.41%. Very good answer, in my opinion. And in first place, we have Metaltronus, 9.24%, as a card that actually ended up seeing a decent amount of play after its initial release. All 3 of these, I think, are very good responses. They all make a lot of sense, in my opinion. Metaltronus was definitely a card that ended up being played a lot more than I anticipated as well. My personal choice, maybe a little bit of bias in there, but that's what a subjective survey is for. I picked Dominus Purge because I thought this card was amazing in the Fiend-Smith deck. And before that, it was kind of like a sleeper. It was kind of like a sleeper card in like Melodious played it sometimes, or like Voiceless Voice. But I guess I was very close to also putting Molcharmi Purulia, because I feel like something that happened with Purulia was that like when Purulia came out, everyone already knew about Fuvalos coming out in the next set, and I feel like it had this very weird effect on Yu-Gi-Oh, where like everyone, like Molcharmi Purulia was not as expensive or not as popular when it came out, because people thought, hey, next set there's going to be a better option anyways, so I'm not picking up Purulias. I'm not playing Purulias now because like Fuvalos is just better. It turned out that Purulia is still a very, very good Yu-Gi-Oh card, even with Fuvalos around the corner, and even with Fuvalos out now, a lot of decks play both, and some decks even play Purulia over Fuvalos. Like, that card is still very good, even with Fuvalos in existence. So I think all 3 of these cards make a lot of sense. I personally went with Dominus Purge, but I think Purulia was a close second for me. And here we go. Best card design in Trading Card Game 2024. This is what people thought was overall the most well-designed card or archetype. Some people said specific cards here. Some people answered with archetypes. So this is basically what overall you think was the most fun, the most healthy for the game, or just in general. Like sometimes, you know how you look at a card sometimes and you're like, I don't like how they made this card, or I really like how they made this card. This is what this category is supposed to be. We have in third place, 9% answered Dominus cards. Impulse or Purge. A lot of people mentioned just the Dominus cards. So most people actually said both. Most people said Impulse and Purge. So 9% of respondents really liked the design on the Dominus cards. 10.8% really liked the Mole Charmies. So both Fuvolos and Perulia. And 13.29% said Fiendsmith. Fiendsmith was the best card design in 2024. And I can get behind that if you take into account the fact that Lacrima was banned. You guys can hate on Fiendsmith all you want, all right? Like, I know you guys are always mad when a card is expensive or when a card is meta. This is supposed to be through the lens of game design, all right? And I think that Fiendsmith is a very fun engine as well. My personal choice was Molcharmi Perulia, the card. I think Molcharmi Perulia was a little bit more fun than Molcharmi Fuvolos, because once again, I do think Fuvolos is a very good card. And I think Perulia is a little bit more balanced than Fuvolos in the way I like it. Like, I do like Molcharmi Perulia a lot. It's probably my favorite like card to come out in 2024. I also think that Ryziel is a very honorable mention for this category. It just came out very late in 2024. So since there hasn't been as much time with Ryziel, I wasn't comfortable like picking it yet. But I do think all of these answers are pretty fine. I do think Molcharmi Perulia is my favorite card that came out in 2024. Fuvolos is also fine. Fiendsmith is the most fun engine in my opinion. So I also get that. For Dominus cards, I personally think Dominus Purge is nice. Dominus Impulse is a little bit overtuned. That is my personal stance on that card. So I wouldn't have picked Dominus Impulse specifically, but Dominus Purge I can get behind. Dominus Purge is fun. So yeah, that was the best card designs 2024. Now we've got the worst card designs in 2024. What did you guys enjoy? What did you guys not enjoy? For this one, we have 14.64% answering Fiendsmith. And the most mentioned card within Fiendsmith was by far Fiendsmith Lacrima. So in this one, funnily enough, for the best card design, most people mentioned the archetypes. Like they said, they just said Fiendsmith, or they just said Dominus, or just Molcharmies. For the worst card design, most people actually picked specific cards, which I thought was interesting. Nowhere was it specified that you had to do one or the other, but in the responses, it turns out like with the positive connections, people have like archetypes in mind or decks in mind. With the negative ones, they think of very specific cards. And for Fiendsmith, this was like over 90% of the Fiendsmith answers was like they said specifically Fiendsmith Lacrima. In second place, for you, we have Yubel, 17.86%. And in this case, most people that said Yubel just said Phantom of Yubel. They said Phantom of Yubel, 17.86%. In first place, I'm sure you can guess what's in first place. The worst, the card design that people perceived as the worst in 2024, not even close. 24.4% Sangan Summoning. Sangan Summoning, people perceived as the worst card design in 2024 overall. I personally, you guys know me, I hate Phantom of Yubel. I think, even though Tenpai was the most annoying deck, I think the worst card design goes to Phantom of Yubel, in my opinion. That was my choice. It was not even close for me. And that is that. Not Puppet. Gimmick Puppet was also mentioned here. There were a couple people who said Gimmick Puppet, but I assumed that it didn't quite make top 3 because Gimmick Puppet just wasn't as meta relevant, right? Like, of course, the Gimmick Puppet design is also beyond anything that I would ever do in my card game, but it wasn't as bad in practice because how often did you play against Gimmick Puppet in paper? Like, not really. Right? Like I didn't play against it at any big events. I didn't play against it at locals. I may have played against one at like a regional or something, but like that's why you didn't really feel the impact of that design, right? Like, but you felt the design of Yubel and Tenpai, right? So that's why I think it wasn't as present in everyone's mind. Oh, yeah. All right. And then we also had most annoying card design in 2024, which honestly, I could have probably predicted this, but like the answers between those two questions are very similar, even though my personal answer is different. But most annoying card design in 2024, 7.89% thought the Molt Charmies were the most annoying cards to play against in 2024. Fair enough. You know, we saw that a lot of people liked them, but there's also people who are really annoyed by having to play against Molt Charmies. 14.43% said Yubel. 26.9 said Tenpai, and this is where I also said Tenpai. I don't know. In my head, it just made sense that like the worst does not necessarily equal most annoying. So for me, it was like I thought the worst design was Phantom of Yubel, but the most annoying was definitely Sangan Summoning. That is how I felt about this. But the two questions are relatively similar. So yeah. Did I miss the Master Duel section? No, we're doing Master Duel after. All right, and then I also asked you guys, what was your favorite booster in 2024, just to get like a little bit of an opinion on which kind of sets people liked and which kind of sets people didn't like. 14.64% said Crossover Breakers, right? At the end of the year, fresh on everyone's mind, 14.64% said, yeah, Crossover Breakers, best set of the year. 19.94% said Quarter Century Bonanza, which I was honestly surprised by how, like, I thought this was going to be first. I thought people really liked Bonanza. But I guess when we're talking game design, I think it's fair. Like, Bonanza did not introduce any new cards, right? Like, it didn't change the game in that way. It still had great positive effects on the game and its accessibility, so that's why I think it was still a fair answer, and that's why I also included it. But yeah, it did not actually win first place. First place was won by The Infinite Forbidden, surprisingly enough. Infinite Forbidden reached 21.39%. I don't know exactly what it was that everyone was so hyped about with The Infinite Forbidden, but it got first place. I personally picked, I guess it makes sense. If so many people, what was it? Fiendsmith and Molt Charmy Perulia, a lot of people said positive things about those two things beforehand. My personal choice was Crossover Breakers. Maybe it's recency bias, but when I thought about this question, I did exclude Bonanza for myself because I did want to pick a set that introduced new cards to the game. And I'm just thinking back at all the major events I played, and I'm just thinking like, hey, after Crossover Breakers came out, I enjoyed the format a lot more than previously. So I picked Crossover Breakers just from like my playing experience at the tournament after it. I just thought it was so much better in Ryziel and Malice format. So like that's why I picked Crossover Breakers. Also, I do think that it was worth mentioning that they did change the Crossover Breakers, like the set structure for the collector's rare side sets. I thought it was a lot better in Crossover Breakers because I think you get like you have more ultra rares and stuff like that. I thought opening Crossover Breakers felt a little bit better than previous collector's rare sets. On the flip side, least favorite booster set of 2024 in the TCG. Rarity Collection 2 made it on here, 11.84%, which surprised me. I do think Rarity Collection 2, looking back at it, is still a pretty good set. I can only guess that people, like, it does kind of look worse than Rarity Collection 1 and 3, right? It's kind of like the one in the middle that it's definitely worse than 1 and 3, but I still think it was pretty good. But hey, 11.84% thought Rarity Collection 2 was their least favorite booster set, maybe because they were disappointed in it after what Rarity Collection 1 was. But I still think, I think Rarity Collection 2 was cool, but okay. In second place, we have Phantom Nightmare. 14.85% said Phantom Nightmare was their least favorite set of the year. And 23.57% said Legacy of Destruction. Sure. I picked Phantom Nightmare. I picked Phantom Nightmare because I looked at it from the game balancing aspect, and you know, Phantom Nightmare. Look, what did it bring us? You know, Nightmare Throne, basically the full base of the Yubel support, except for Phantom of Yubel. So I wasn't a huge fan of that. I don't know exactly why people hate Legacy of Destruction so much. What was in Legacy of Destruction that was like bad for the game? Also, I picked Phantom Nightmare because it also had. Oh no, Throne was Legacy of Destruction. Oh, that's why. Okay. Oh, dude, my brain just went, hey, Yubel on the cover of Phantom Nightmare. That's maybe I meant Legacy of Destruction then. Maybe I'm the one who's mixing it up. So Legacy of Destruction had Nightmare Throne and Tenpai. Oh yeah, it's definitely Legacy of Destruction. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I messed up. It's definitely Legacy of Destruction for me then. Okay. My bad. Yeah, sorry, Phantom Nightmare. Sorry, Phantom Nightmare. I take it back. All right. We have a couple more questions for the trading card game. First up, we've got best legacy support in the trading card game in 2024. 12.05% said Melodious was the best legacy support in 2024. 12.77 said Ritual Beast. And obviously Yubel wins this category. Do we have to talk about it? The best legacy support, like best in terms of like most powerful, definitely Yubel. Like that's the dream legacy support for any archetype. Just make it broken for the entire year. So yeah, Yubel wins this category. I think maybe we should have phrased this a little bit differently in terms of like most fun legacy support, most hype legacy support, because then I think stuff like Melodious and Ritual Beast probably overtake Yubel for me personally. But we said best legacy support, and that's definitely Yubel. Most disappointing legacy support in the trading card game 2024. 6.02% said Lightsworn was the most disappointing legacy support. They really wished for more with it. 6.85% said Gen X, and 7.17% said Gimmick Puppet. You will note that these numbers are relatively low. That's because there was a lot of different answers for this one, right? Like some people were disappointed in various different. Six Samurais were mentioned. There was a lot of stuff. Magispector was mentioned. There was a lot of legacy support in 2024 that didn't end up being very relevant. I personally, for this category, I picked Lightsworn because Lightsworn was one of the most... It's actually weird because when I played with the new Lightsworn cards, they were super fun. So I'm not disappointed in them in that regard. Like, I'm not disappointed in terms of how fun the Lightsworn cards were. I was disappointed in like, hey, these cards are really fun, but I still can't really play them because they're not good enough. And then the only way they're being played is like, well, there's an FTK with it. In Master Duel, for example. And that's like, well, that's not what I wanted from Lightsworn support. I wanted them to be actually like cool and playable. Turns out they were just cool and not that playable, unfortunately, for now. That's why I chose Lightsworn. Personally. That does not mean it's the worst legacy support. It's just the one that I was the most disappointed in because I had higher hopes, basically. I didn't particularly care for the Gimmick Puppet support or the Gen X support. I cared about the Lightsworn support and I was disappointed. So that's what this category means. We have the best banlist decision in the TCG in 2024. This is an interesting category. So which singular change did you think was the best one made in 2024? In third place, 13.71% said banning original sinful spoils. Finally getting rid of original sinful spoils was the best banlist decision in third place. In second place, 14.33% said the banning of Fiendsmith's Lacrima. And in first place, 15.99%, Appaloosa. Now, this was also mentioned a lot of the times alongside Baron and Savage. Baron, I think, on its own was fourth place under original. But like a lot of people also just said generic Omni negates extra deck stuff. That was a lot of answers in this thing. But yeah. I think before I reveal my choice, I think 2024, looking back, I was not so happy with some of the card design choices in Snake Eye and Yubel. With ban list choices, I was overall pretty happy. Obviously, I don't disagree with everything, and we're gonna have a category for worst ban list decisions in 2024. But I do think, like, I was a fan of hitting the extra deck Omni Negates. I was also a fan of hitting some of the Floodgates. I was a fan of Fiendsmith Lacrima and stuff like that. My personal favorite choice of this year was the banning of Fiendsmith Lacrima, because it was not only something that I thought was a card that was terribly designed, but it was also super, super fast. And I just really liked that whole thing that happened where Fiendsmith as an engine came out, and they gave us Aerial Eater and Necroquip Princess as a replacement for Lacrima so that they could ban it faster. Because you have to realize, like, Fiendsmith Lacrima is one of the fastest bans in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. And I think them realizing that and giving us a replacement and banning Lacrima right away was phenomenal. It was great. It's even the fastest ban in history. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was the fastest, but yeah, apparently, according to chat, it's the fastest ban. And I think that is why I liked it so much. I think it's because typically whenever something is in the game that's a problem, generally it takes too long for them to fix it. With Fiendsmith Lacrima, I think was the first time that they did it in an appropriate time, right? Like that was good that they did that so fast. So that's why I'm picking that one. Here come the worst ban list decisions in 2024. In 9.87%, third place is a very funny answer, is Dimension Shifter. And you're going to say, like, hey, but nothing happened to Dimension Shifter. Nothing happened with Dimension Shifter. Exactly. 10% of people, when it came to the worst ban list decision of 2024, instead of saying, like, oh, yeah, that they banned this card or that they brought back that card, 10% of people said that they didn't touch Shifter. That was 10% of the answers. And Dimensional Barrier was also mentioned. It's not in top 3, but I just thought that was hilarious. And honestly, I do not disagree with it. 17.76% said banning original Sinful Spoils. I will say most of these responses, because it was a free text input, most people that said original Sinful Spoils, they said original Sinful Spoils instead of Flamberge. That's what most people said. So I think people didn't have a problem with hitting Snake Eyes. I think people had a problem with hitting original instead of Flamberge, because they thought, like, hey, keeping original for, like, Rescue Ace or something would have been cool. And honestly, I can see that. I think that's a fair thing to say, right? Like, a lot of people said they should have put Flamberge instead of original, and that's fair. I think that's a fair criticism. And then we have first place, 22.74%, the worst ban list decision in 2024, bringing back Arch Nemesis Protoss. And as much as I wanted to also agree with Shifter and say, like, oh yeah, bringing back not hitting Shifter is a problem, something in me just doesn't really understand why a card that so clearly deserves to be banned moves in that direction of the ban list. I just don't understand it. And I agree with it. I like Protoss as a card, even though it doesn't see as much play, whenever it's summoned, it's just miserable. And I think Master Duel has proven that even Ritual Beast can be played without Protoss. A lot of people do play it without Protoss. And I think there's no business for this card to be limited. So I chose Protoss as well. I did not understand why they brought back Protoss. Funnily enough, I don't even have as much of a problem with Colossus. But Protoss, nah. I don't want that. And that's it for the TCG. We're moving on to the Master Duel section now. We have not exactly the same questions, but a lot of similar questions for Master Duel now, where we had 755 respondents in the survey. So we're going to take a look at the same or some of the same questions for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. The most powerful deck in 2024 in Master Duel. We have, once again, not as clear of a winner. I think that's worth pointing out. We had 85% saying Snake Eye in the TCG. In this case, we only have 47% who for the first place. So, like, no matter what it is not as dominant as it was in the trading card game. 15.89% said Fire King. Specifically, Fire King was the most powerful deck in Master Duel in 2024. And I think if you look at, like, I was this close to putting Fire King in the most overrated in TCG, because Fire King never really took off in the TCG. In Master Duel, it was a lot better. So that's fair enough. In second place, we have Tenpai. Obviously, you can see the difference between Tenpai and in TCG and Master Duel. Best of one does wonders for Tenpai. 35% thought it was the best deck in Master Duel in 2024. 47% still said Snake Eyes. And that is without Fire King. That is just Snake Eyes. So 47% thought Snake Eyes was overall the most powerful deck in Master Duel. I think that's fair enough still. And I did agree on it. I think if you look at, like, just the length of Snake Eyes dominance, I think it's hard to argue with 2024 being the Snake Eye year. Bell, interestingly enough, was 4th place, I think, in this category. And I think that's also fair for Master Duel, because I think you guys underestimate, like, how much Varudras and how much the Fiendsmith engine contributes to Yubel. Like, Yubel in Master Duel was never as dominant as it would have been if it came out with the Fiendsmith cards, like it basically did in the TCG, right? The Fiendsmith cards just give that deck so much more power, and also Maxi is a big problem for it. So I think I probably would have, for me personally, it would have been Snake Eye, Tenpai, Yubel. I would not have made a distinction between Snake Eye and Fire King personally. But the people answering the survey did, so I also included Fire King. But for me, it would have been Snake Eye, Tenpai, Yubel in that order. Most overrated deck in Master Duel in 2024. 6.49% said Voiceless or Tearlament. They got the exact same number of votes. This is also where we needed the Kid Carlos image, by the way. Voiceless and Tearlament, most overrated decks, 3rd place. Second place, Yubel, 12.05%, which I think is fair enough. Once again, I think for especially for TCG players, like, if you play both TCG and Master Duel, when Yubel came out in Master Duel, you were like, oh my god, this deck is so powerful in the TCG already. It's gonna have to be that powerful. And it turned out to just be not as powerful. It's still good. And then 15% said Tenpai. 15% said Tenpai is overrated in Master Duel, which I think that's... I picked Yubel for the reasons I just mentioned. I picked Yubel because I'm like, okay, you know what? Fair enough. The deck actually ended up being not even close to its power level in the TCG, and people thought it was going to be better than that, and I don't actually think it's that good. It's still good, but it's not that good. Tenpai being... Look, I'm just presenting. Don't shoot the messenger, all right? I thought Tenpai was crazy in Master Duel before the hits, but all right. People thought it was overrated. Most underrated deck in Master Duel in 2024, we have 7.81% answering Labyrinth. And I think that's a fair point. I think Labyrinth is a deck that, you know, I play against it not very often, even though it is pretty powerful. 8.34% said Centurion, underrated deck in Master Duel. And 12.72% said Voiceless Voice. And I think, once again, that's a fair point. I think Voiceless Voice... once again, this is always, when you look at it through the lens of a TCG player, you're like, okay, Voiceless Voice came out in a TCG, was arguably not as good as people thought it was going to be. So, like, naturally, when it comes to Master Duel, people are like, oh, this deck didn't do as much in the TCG, so I'm also expecting it to not be as good in Master Duel. Turns out Voiceless Voice actually was a little bit better than that. I picked Centurion just because I love Centurion, and I thought there was a period, not right now, But there was a period in Master Duel, like before Tenpai's release, where that deck was actually pretty good. Like I was doing most of my climbing with it, and I liked it a lot. I'm not saying it was the best deck, but it was definitely better than people gave it credit for, because everyone was like, "Oh, they don't have Primera Primus yet. Not gonna touch it." I thought it was pretty good. And I liked it a lot, so I picked Centurion. I also was surprised that people didn't mention Ritual Beast more here, because Ritual Beast definitely was my top 3 underrated. Like it was Centurion, then Ritual Beast, and then Voiceless Voice for me personally. That was my order, because Ritual Beast did a lot better than it actually, like, than I anticipated personally. It's just, I think the difference why I put Centurion here, or like rather most fun deck in Master Duel 2024. Let's do that first. 8.34%, third place, White Forest. Most fun deck in Master Duel 2024 for 8% of the respondents. In second place, we have Tearlament. This one was not a new deck, but it got so many votes, I included it. Because I think it's also funny to, like, the deck was not released in 2024, but like it's just crazy to see how long this deck, like the staying power and the lengths to what people go to just play this deck. And then in first place, Centurion, 11.39%, which was also my personal choice. This one, I think this one is like very Josh viewer base skewed. All right, like we reached 1,400 people, which is a lot of people, but it still is mostly my audience, and so like I guess it does make sense, you know, like it does make sense that the people that the decks that I enjoyed playing the most and I had the most fun with on stream is also things that the people that watch my content would have had fun watching, you know. But yeah, I personally picked Centurion. I think other decks worth mentioning are Chimera. I had a lot of fun with Chimera. I think Labyrinth is fun always. White Forest was also very fun. The reason why I personally didn't pick White Forest for this one is because whenever I play White Forest, Runic, and Master Duel, I'm frustrated by the Runic hits on the ban list, and that like annoys me. And it's also a max C issue, right? Like when I'm playing Centurion, the reason why I like Centurion in Master Duel is because getting max heat with it is not as frustrating, whereas it really is with something like White Force. Paleo is not on here because Paleo was not a new deck. I personally interpreted these questions in terms of like new decks in Master Duel, so like I didn't put Paleo, but Paleo was obviously up there. Most annoying deck in Master Duel 2024. We have... Anyone trying to guess first place? Anyone trying to guess first place, guys? Ubel is third. Stun is second. 13.38%. And then... we have a little bit of a gap going from 13% to 46.75. Tenpai. And I think it goes to, after the recent Duelist Cup, I just had no choice but to put Tenpai as first as well. That was something. So yeah. Most annoying deck award goes to the Tenpai Dragons. Most overrated card in Master Duel 2024. Now, with these two categories, we have a large problem where a lot of the people answering these just said like existing card, like hand traps. That most people said like, oh, for both overrated and underrated, people meant I wanted this to be new cards. But most people just said like, oh, Ghost Ogre or Max C. I'm like, okay, well, anyways. Most overrated card, 4.9% said Masterpiece. This one I accepted because it was technically new in Master Duel because it came back. It wasn't in the game previously and came out, so like that's why this one I thought was reasonable. 4.9% said Masterpiece. 12.05% said Typhon, which I think is very funny, and 15% first place most overrated card, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Now, I was very close to picking Typhon as well because of the whole, because I just think it's hilarious. The whole meme of, hey, Typhon win rate is terrible because whenever you summon Typhon, you lose. I didn't do that because I ultimately still think Typhon is a pretty good card. So I picked Masterpiece because I was so disappointed when I played Masterpiece after it came back. It's just like Typhon. Yes, it's a funny meme that the Typhon win rate is terrible because whenever you summon it, it's probably in like terrible scenarios. I still think Typhon is a pretty good card. I still think Typhon is a very good card, and I don't think it's overrated. It's just, yeah, of course, when you're losing, you can still make Typhon, and you're probably still gonna lose. But there's some games where you don't, and it's a pretty good option. Most underrated card in Master Duel 2024. This is where the numbers are super low because most people just said different hand traps. They're like, hey, my Ghost Ogre was super underrated. DD Crow was super underrated. Ghost Bell was super underrated. Evenly matched. Droplet. Like we had like so many different cards mentioned at like 1 or 2% that didn't even come out in 2024. Third place here out of the new cards was the Black Goat Laughs. Silhouette Rabbit was in second place, most underrated cards. And in first place, we had Typhon. I personally think all three of these cards are slightly underrated. Typhon is probably underrated because of that meme, right? Everyone thinks Typhon is bad because of that. I don't think that's true. I personally picked the Black Goat Laughs. I think that card is underrated in Master Duel specifically because of Master Duel's best of one system. Like playing a card like Black Goat that can actually have implications for going second. I think like something like playing Triple Tactics Thrust in your main deck with one copy of Black Goat Laughs is very underrated. It's something that in best of one should probably be done a lot more. So that's why I picked that card. Best card design in Master Duel 2024. Now, once again, we have a lot of people mentioning archetypes with best card design. A lot of people said White Forest. Oh, there's a little typo there. I think. Is Forest? Wait, Forest? Is Forest 2R or 1R? It's 1R, right? Nah, whatever. Yeah, 5.96% said White Forest. 6.49% just said Typhon. And 11.13% said SP Little Knight, which I included. But did SP Little Knight even come out in 2024? I think it did. Yeah, it did. Oh, May. All right. Yeah, SP Little Knight came out in 2024, and 11.13% of people said, hey, this is my favorite card design to come out of 2024. SP is crazy broken. Yeah, but the question is not most broken. The question is, what is the best card design? And people said SP. Broken does not equal bad card design. I chose Centurion just because I had the most fun playing Centurion, and that is ultimately what card design in Master Duel was like. I chose not just a singular card, but rather like the entire archetype for this one, because I was looking at, hey, which time periods because we didn't have like some of the things that were the most fun to me in the TCG, we simply don't have in Master Duel yet, right? Like I really enjoyed Fiendsmith, I enjoy Ryziel format, all those things. We don't have those in Master Duel. So I'm thinking like, what did we have in Master Duel? Well, we had Snake Eyes, I don't like that. We had Tenpai, I didn't like that. We have Yubel, I don't like that much either. So the period where Centurion came out was my favorite period of Master Duel this year. It's the deck I enjoyed the most in Master Duel, and it's not even close probably. And that's why I chose that. Worst card design in Master Duel 2024. We have this time Gimmick Puppet making it into the top 3, and I think it's very fair to say that in a best of one scenario, especially during Tenpai format, Gimmick Puppet was quite something. In second place, we have Phantom of Yubel once again. And then in first place, once again, not even close, another award for the Tenpais. Tenpai is winning hella awards today, guys. Tenpai is the most decorated deck in this whole award ceremony. It's just kind of unfortunate that it's somehow all the negative ones. I don't know. Weird. Anyways, Tenpai Sweep, Sangan Summoning. I still picked Phantom of Yubel because fuck that card. Most annoying card design in Master Duel 2024. Hey, we got another award. Gimmick Puppet. You bet. This is the same question basically. I just picked Sangan Summoning for this one, but I could have put these two together, I think. But these were the exact same question. Best legacy support in Master Duel 2024. We have Fire King. And I think this one's very interesting because this kind of flopped in the TCG, but it was really good in Master Duel. Mainly because we got Volcanics in a timely manner. Then we have Ritual Beast in second and Yubel in first. Once again, I think it is hard to debate that Yubel has received the best wave of legacy support in 2020. I do think it's good and very representative that like Fire King shows up in Master Duel and not in the TCG, because it did flop in the TCG a little bit. In Master Duel, it was by far the better version for long periods of time. So yeah. Fire King was 2023 in TCG. I guess, yeah, but like still they got Volcanics recently. People could have still mentioned it, but no one did. Most disappointing legacy support in Master Duel 2024. Third place, 4.1%. Infernoid. Second place, 5.17%. Flame Swordsman. And in first place, with 6.49%, the Gimmick Puppets. I think that here, disappointment does not necessarily mean disappointed in its power level, because arguably Gimmick Puppet was more playable than Infernoid or Flame Swordsman. So I don't think that is what people mean by this. I think what people mean by this is, hey, we don't like what Gimmick Puppet has become, what kind of deck this is now, right? I think that's why people are disappointed in it, is like, well, I don't even know what the deck used to be, right? Like, it was like, I think Gimmick Puppets, ironically, were usually a deck that wanted to go second, right? And now it's just an FTK, and I can definitely see like why people would be disappointed in that, right? I don't know. I picked Lightsworn again, by the way. I picked Lightsworn because I thought these cards were super fun, but then they ended up just being like an FTK deck. And that was disappointing to me. Like I thought that was kind of sad that like these cards came out. I was super hyped to play with them, and then here's like the only meta relevant one is an FTK. But as you can see here, the numbers are very low, and the differences between each individual one is also very small. There were a lot of archetypes mentioned at like 2 to 3%. I think Madolche was in 4th. And then Lightsworn was in 5th or something like that. So yeah. We've got the best banlist decision in Master Duel 2024. Bringing back Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, 7.15%. The Dragoon stands are very powerful. Even though it was also voted the most overrated card. People really enjoy having it back. But I guess, fair enough. 7.95% said, hitting floodgates. Master Duel has started to hit some of the floodgates as well in 2024. I don't remember exactly which ones, but they've definitely started to hit some of them. And that is something that a lot of people mentioned. So that is a second place for the floodgate hits. And then we have first place, Dimension Shifter to 1. 12.32%. Which I did not agree with. I was very close to just putting Shifter, but then I remembered my burning hatred for Gamma and how it went to 1 recently. So I put Gamma to 1 as my favorite decision. I just hate this guy, man. So I was like, I look, you guys are probably right, but I wanted to sprinkle in some personal bias, so like I put Gamma. I love that Gamma is limited. I also love that Shifter is limited, but yeah. And then I think this is the last question of the entire thing. We have the worst banlist decision in Master Duel 2024. We have in third place with 5.3% banning Pot of Prosperity. A lot of people didn't like that one. 5% of people said, I don't like that you banned Pot of Prosperity. I think, like, I don't personally have a problem with it. But I'm not like against it. I just think like it being the worst decision, I don't think it's that bad. But okay, sure. I actually, no, I agree because I have a royal rare Pot of Prosperity, exactly one copy. So yes, it should be limited, and you guys are exactly right. I agree. In second place, 9.8%. And this is probably just Jesse Cotton bot accounts, but 9.8% said banning Pearl Rhino was the worst decision that Master Duel has made in 2024. And now I want you guys to guess what people thought was the worst ban list decision in all of 2024. What was the worst decision that they've done or that they've made in 2024? It is once again, I think it's very funny, but because it is it is not even close. 13.51% said the worst banlist decision in Master Duel 2024 was not hitting Max D. Bro, it's not even something that happened, is the funny part. So, yeah. Weird, huh? Weird. So, is it wrong though? No, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. I definitely agree with that sentiment. So not hitting Maxi was the #1 voted worst banlist decision in Master Duel 2024. I picked Snow to 1 because I just looked at all the changes they made and I'm like, that just didn't make sense. That card should be banned and you're realizing it's a problem, but you're putting it to 1. No Fountain to 1. I thought Fountain to 1 happened in 2023. Wait, when did Runic Fountain go to 1? Because I thought Fountain went to 1 after we won Worlds with Runic Naturia. I think it's 2023. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, that's why I didn't pick it. Otherwise, I would have picked that one. You know me. But yeah, for Fairy Tail Snow, I agree with you guys that Maxi should be banned. But like for Fairy Tail Snow, I put worst decision because I think putting Snow to 1 is like super weird. Because at maximum that card was being played as a 2 of, but it's absolutely fine to just be a 1 of, especially when like Master Duel still has like Curious and stuff like that. It doesn't really make sense to have Snow at 1. That's why I put Snow. So yeah, that was the 2024 Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG and Master Duel card and game design awards. I hope you found it interesting. Thank you all the people that responded to the survey. Once again, I'm very happy to reach over 1,300 people with it. I think it was a very interesting look at what the people think. Of course, once again, this is not everyone's opinion, because if I put out a survey, of course, I will reach mostly my communities with it. And I still think it's a pretty sizable chunk of like, I think it's nothing to scoff at. You know, 1,300 responses or almost 1,400 responses. And I'm hoping that if anyone who has anything to say in the TCG or Master Duel looks at this, they can get an idea of what kind of designs and what kind of interactions people like in a Yu-Gi-Oh card and what kind of things people don't like in Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Because I do think this sort of thing, I mean, I'm basically doing free market research right now. for the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game in Master Duel, right? Like, look at this. I reached over 1,300 people, and maybe you can take some ideas away from this. If you've been watching this on YouTube, definitely make sure to let me know your choices and what you agree and disagree with in the comments down below. I hope you found it interesting. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. Hope you guys have a wonderful start to 2025. Thank you for watching all the way through 2024, and I'll see you guys next year. Haha. All right. I thought this was interesting. I did notice with some questions that it was a little skewed towards like my community, or like, you know, my community in some ways also just reflects my opinion on some of these questions. But I still think the overall direction of some of these things is definitely still representative data. The annoying category was basically pointless, so maybe we should consider something else. I agree, and I do think this was very interesting. It's a shame that like I had this idea very, very last minute. Like I had this idea like 1 or 2 days before the Duelist Cup, like 1.5 weeks ago. And I was obviously very busy with the Duelist Cup preparations and the Duelist Cup itself. So like I plan on making this happen a little bit sooner in 2025, because I did think this was very fun, and I think we're going to do it again. But it was the first time. So like we learned from it. I think it was still interesting. We're just going to go ahead and improve it for next time. Fine. We definitely learned while looking at all the results and evaluating all of it, that for some things we should definitely have, like, all of this was free text input, right? Everything. So we had to look at all the responses and sort them and check like for spelling mistakes and for different, like a lot of people, like for best deck, for example, people would say Snake Eyes. Other people would say Snake Eye without an S at the end. Other people would just say SE. Other people would put a hyphen between it. Some people would leave that out. Some people would say Snake Eye Fiendsmith, or just Snake Eye, or Snake Eye Fire King. It was difficult to evaluate. So like we should probably have like a more fleshed out version for next year, right? But yeah. For now, I think it was a good thing that we did it. It was very interesting. I enjoyed looking through the results a lot. I thought it was very fun. As someone who's very interested in like in game design in general, like game and card design is a topic that I like a lot. I like to talk about it a lot. And seeing how people evaluate these kind of cards that came out this year, I thought was very interesting. I enjoyed that a lot. Probably should have added, how did you feel about non-engine in 2024, one card starter? Yeah, there was definitely things we could have added, for sure. We definitely could have added some stuff. But then again, it was a very last minute thing, and I think it turned out fine. Master Duel banlist reaction now? Wait, what? Is there a banlist react? Is there a banlist we haven't talked about yet? Oh, I wasn't live since the last one, right? When was the last one? Oh yeah, it was after Christmas. I mean, I guess. The thing is, like, at this point, it's been so long ago, like it's an entire week. At this point, I would just say, like, listen to the newest episode of Heart of the Cast, because I went over it with Farfa. So if you're interested in my opinion on the new Master Duel Forbidden and Limited List update, I mean, I can give you the TLDR. I was a big fan of the Tenpai hits, which I think goes to no one's surprise. If you're interested in any of the other discussions on it, just check out the newest Heart of the Cast episode where we did talk about it. Yeah, podcast exclusive opinion. All right. So now what we're gonna do now, before, like, this was we're gonna talk a little bit about 2025 Yu-Gi-Oh in a second. But first we have things to give away to you guys. You can win some stuff for free now. Once again, we have, hold up, let me set this up real quick. Nightbot. Away. All right. Up. All right, so what we have here, we have Christmas 2. On Christmas, I've already showed you guys these, and these are graded cards, part of the Joshua Schmidt signature collection, and they all have my little signature in the back, and we've selected 20 cards that are very fitting of the, like, basically for me, some of my favorite cards, and I'm doing this together with Cloud Card Grading. Show you real quick. You guys can go !CCG to check out their website and see if you want to get anything graded for yourself. As you can see on the screen, they have a bunch of different customization options. So what they are meant for is you're meant to send cards there that you really enjoy, that you want to have, keep for yourself, not to just increase their value, but rather just grade something that's very dear to yourself that you want to keep around. And as a little bit of a kickoff campaign, we have designed these 20 different cards that they graded, and each of these cards there's only 5 copies of. Well, technically 6, because I have one set here. They have 5 other sets there that they're going to send to you guys. So each of these cards, there's only going to be 5 of them. We've already given away one set on Christmas, and we're going to give away a second set right now. So we're going to draw 20 winners. The way we're going to do this is we're going to do a Nightbot giveaway with a keyword. The keyword is cloud. Let me check if it's cloud. Hold up. Cloud, yeah. Just everyone use put the word cloud in chat one time, and then you'll be entered. You don't have to put it multiple times. I don't think it's case sensitive, and everyone who uses the word in chat will be entered. So once again, I do think this stuff is super cool. So if you ever look into grading a card, make sure to check out Cloud Card Grading, !CCG, if you want to check out their website. There will be 3 more sets given away of these. In case anyone doesn't win one today, there's going to be more opportunities. We're giving away one set of 20 over on YouTube soon. We're giving away one set of 20 on X/Twitter on my account, or the final set will be given away on Cloud Card Grading's Instagram. So you might want to follow them there if you don't want to miss the opportunity to win one of these 20 cards. All right, we'll leave this running for a little bit, and then we'll draw 20 winners. All right. Get this set up. Julia, thank you for the 6 months. And good luck playing Azamina White Forest. That sounds very fun. Hope you have a good time. All right. I think that's enough time for everyone to put the thing. We will start with the Ronin Toden over here. We'll start with the Ronin Toden. The Ronin Toden. Oh, I also have to write this down somewhere. Hold up. Ronin Toden. The Ronin Toden goes to Leo Boss. All right, let me write that down. You shall receive the Ronin Toden. Next up, we've got a Runic Destruction. The Runic Destruction, once again, let me just say this up front this time around before I draw the next one. We will not give out duplicates to the same person, all right? If we pull the same name again, we're drawing another winner. I'm just making that clear because that happened last time and I didn't say it beforehand, so I felt bad. But we're trying to give away one card per person, all right? So Runic Destruction goes to Snati Santi. We write that down. So you win the Runic Fountain. Congratulations. The Runic Destruction, rather. The Runic Destruction. There you go. Next up, we've got Runic Freezing Curses. Runic Freezing Curses goes to Romeo the Good Guy. Thank God it's not Romeo the Bad Guy. All right. Romeo the Good Guy. You win this beautiful Runic Freezing Curses. We have Runic Slumber next. Going to Poca LP Games. Runic Slumber. I think you already won something on Christmas, but that's okay. You just lucky like that. Runic Slumber. Next up, Runic Dispelling. We have Oxer. Runic Dispelling. Ox Error. All right. You win the Dispelling. Now we have Sprite Blue. Oh. Spoilers. We got Sprite Blue. Going to Chef Uwe. You win Sprite Blue. Congratulations. Next up, there's by the way, all the runics are in here. Just in case anyone is wondering. Yes, of course, all the runics are in here. We've got Runic Smiting Storm. Smiting Storm goes to Fireboy J. Fireboy J. Next up, we've got a very cool one. We've got a Snipe Hunter. This is one of my favorite ones. We got Snipe Hunter. And Snipe Hunter will go to Icy Clipper 04. Snipe Hunter Icy Clipper 4. Alright. That's the Snipe Hunter. Ooh, we got a big one. The Fountain. The Runic Fountain goes to Nairi 12. Nairi 12. You win the Runic Fountain. Oh my god, yes. We've got Sky Striker Ace Ray next. Going to Frantic Cheese 45. Congratulations. You win that striker ace rate. All right. Ooh. We've got the card that... Chat, remind me again how Jesse calls Paleozoic Opabinia. Who remembers what word Jesse uses to describe Paleozoic Opabinia? Because I forgot. Anyways. Paleozoic Opabinia goes to Mech Bettler, MC Bettler. You win the Opabinia. The Naturia Sunflower goes to Alter Yume 21. You got Engage. Baboosh B3. Wins the Engage. We have Kid Carlos. Kid Carlos is going to Tortellini Mafia. Okay, you win the Kid Carlos. Next up, we got the Runic Tip. The Runic Tip will find a new home over at Paita. Next up, we got a few more to go through. Runic Flashing Fire. The Flashing Fire will go to Sell Me for Cheese. Flashing Fire. Sell me for... Next up, we got my favorite card. Colossal Fighter. Or one of my favorite cards. We got Colossal Fighter going to Sash 96. Then we've got the odd one, the one that you guys voted for to be in this thing. I have no idea why, but Insector Hornet is part of the collection. Blood thinks he's part of the team, but all right. Insector Hornet wins. Tazo 3 wins Insector Hornet. And then last but not least, oh well, two more actually. We've got Toad. Toad goes to FM Sin Gaming. Congratulations. And now for the last one, Hugin the Runic Wings. Hugin the Runic Wings will go to Okami 07. Okami 07. All right, you win the Hugin. Congratulations to our 20 winners. And once again, a huge shout out to Cloud Card Grading for providing me with the opportunity to give away all these cards to you guys. If you, once again, if you like the way these look, or you have any cards that you want to grade yourselves, do me a favor and check out Cloud Card Grading. You have all kinds of customization options. You can change the color of your case, the label, all other kinds of things. They even have a tool on their website where you can check how the card would look like inside different cases. So make sure to check them out. !CCG. There's going to be, once again, 3 more sets of these given away. One on my Twitter, one on YouTube, and one on Cloud Card Grading's Instagram. So make sure to take part in those giveaways if you still want a chance at some of these graded cards. There's 3 more opportunities. To the people that did win now, make sure to send me a message on Twitch or Discord, whatever you prefer. You can also go !Discord and join my Discord and reach me there. Because I do need to collect your addresses to send the cards to. So make sure to do that if you won a card. But yeah, once again, shout outs to Cloud Card Grading for sponsoring the channel and for making it possible to give away these cool signature cards. Check them out. All right, so now technically we're out of things that I have prepared for today. We can, if you guys want to, we can talk about like Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit. We do that sometimes on this stream. !2025 festival. Oh, is that fun? Can we talk about retro formats? Look, if you ask me an interesting question, we can talk about anything. It's just burn. I mean, okay, you know what? Since, I mean, like, look, we're gonna need some background activity anyways. I can just launch it. We build a silly burn deck, and then we yap a little bit. It has actual rewards. Wait, I thought it was just a tryout. Oh, I haven't logged in yet. I legitimately, I have not logged into this game after the Duelist Cup. That is not something, that is not an action I've performed since I closed the game on Duelist Cup day. Okay, so how does this work? Also, Flosion, Subtroop, Enemy, Armin Gibbs, thank you guys so much for the subs. I appreciate the support. All right, so reward. Oh, I get rewards. Bronze finalist. Let's go. 10 reward tickets. Santa Claus is fine. I have 9. I usually don't remember what I dream. I will try to remember that, yeah. Angelo. I don't really check my Twitch DMs often. Oh, this one I wanted. Actually, did I already have that? I already had that. All right. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but sure. Hog. Wait, this is good. This is also, I guess, some of these I probably, I don't know if I could disenchant some of these now. Wrong one. Hibana Yori, thank you so much for the 5 gifties, also causing a Valorant gift. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Once again, I really appreciate all the support. Just as I mean, we're not at the end of the stream yet, but like, you know, the support throughout the year 2024 has been amazing, and I appreciate all of you for that. All right. So what would one do? What are the rewards for the duel trial? Oh, you get like, okay, when you said there are real rewards now, did you refer to the 45 gems that they've added to the one pack? I mean, it is better. It is better. Look, so what's the meta game for this? Like, what's the best way to have fun in this event? Anonymous gifter with a sub gift to Kill Ronin. Bro, Kill Ronin is an account created on February 21st, 2023, and has been subscribed to this channel for 10 months without ever being here. They have a Swap Frog sub badge. Just putting that out there. Just play burn and anti-burn hand traps. Okay, what is an anti-burn hand trap? Hanawada? Leonidas? I'm not crafting a super rare Leonidas. Eco? Oh, I know which one you mean. Something Eco Forest. This one, right? This is okay. Runix with soul absorption, play heal turbo. Juggler. Wait, does Juggler work on effect damage? Oh, it does. And how do I burn my opponent? Oh yeah, Poison of the Old Man. Soul of Fire. Yeah, I can do that. No worries. Thank you. Is there a pyro that's big enough to kill the opponent? This is the biggest pyro monster in the game. 3,000 attack? There's no bigger pyro? Emperor is 3,100. Yeah. All you need. I mean, I'm aware of how it works, guys. I'm aware. But like, is it really okay? So this is 800 damage. What is that the most that one card does? Tremendous Fire is 1,000 to the opponent, but 500 to yourself. Firecracker. Restructor Revolution. Probably play like Pot of Extravagance and Pot of Desires. With some extra deck. Gotta have Leonidas. It's a super rare. I'm not crafting a Leonidas. I'm crafting the 3rd Damage Juggler because it's not a bad card. Goblin Thief. Sure. Extrav conflicts with Soul of Fire. Oh. I guess Desires does too. Because I could banish my target. Oh, I don't have Volcanic Emperor. Ultra Mafus. Gazi. Aren't there? What's Dawn 1000? Sure. If this card is summoned, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. You should play a target for Damage Juggler. That searches a for Mage. Wait, this card is just good in this format, right? This deck is so ass. Fire Trooper. Oh yeah, that's better than Alzam. All right, insane. Okay, cool. Hold up. I need some super rares. Do I go first or second with this? Is my next question. Probably don't need 2 crescendos. And all right, sick. What is this event? I think everyone has 2025 life points. Oh, did they quit? Uh-oh. No! Eco! Save me! Am I dead? Wait, why does Eco not get summoned? Wait, why did Eco not get summoned? Flame Eater locks? Oh my god. You cannot special. Oh, okay. This hand is awkward. Technically, it's game. If they have nothing. No, they have something! Shit. No! Bro, I just hurt myself! Oh my god. Yeah. Batman, thank you for the 22. Maybe their deck is also just burn. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Come on. Wait, this doesn't... This is not card. This is not damage, right? Just lose 1,000 life points. Eco! Well, that's too late. I can't use this anymore. I was like, why can't I see this Okazi? Chain! Chain! Please just pass. Please! I want to attack you with Firecracker. Yeah! So that is not how I envisioned my first win to go in this. Alright, let's go, let's go. This is kind of funny. Oh god, wait, is this game? This is game. Can you activate Dawn 1000 if your opponent has less than 1,000 life points? Can you kill with this card, or do I have to start with that? We'll find out. Soul of Fire. Ash? Out of all things! God damn it. Why is there Ash? Are they just playing a normal deck? Dude, that'd be weird. There's no way. No, there's no shot. Nah. That's crazy. You just queued 10 pie. Nah. Well, where are my burn cards? Shit, they got a hand trap. They still draw a card? How broken is that? Negate and destroy. I could also take the damage and then summon Eco. Eco is bigger than this. I'll take it. Eco! If I normal summon damage juggler, I can make cowboy, but they take no more damage. But I'll just hit on cowboy. Cowboy's 2400 defense. What do they have? They have Hanavata. Shit. Pass. Cowboy and add with juggler. I could have this detached just for the sake of it, but I have Hanawata anyways. Let me hand trap that. Oh, I might still die. Oh, I might still die. Bro, they got all the quick effects. Shit, I died. I think going first is bad. If everyone is playing the hand traps, why would I go first, dude? Like, I have less cards than my opponent. I get hand trapped, I die. Called by and cross out. Bro, we're turning burn into a hand trap meta game? That's not fair. It's not okay. Dude, this stupid ass Ultra Mapus card, man. Tremendous fire. No. I will take 800. That's okay. Bro, can I draw this card as well? This card is broken. I'll negate this one because otherwise I lose to the contract card. They had another response. Holy shit. Why are you hurting yourself? Do I just die? You take no effect damage. I think I just die. Could have crafted it. I mean, that would not help me right now. That's why you go first. This changes nothing. If I go first, this still happens. Lost. If I go first and I activate a burn card, I think my deck just sucks. I think my deck is just ass. What if we just play all the burn hand traps, but our win condition is not burn? We just like attack them with something stupid, like we did with the firecracker. And no, not Tenpai. Shut up, not Tenpai. Like I'm thinking like we play like perform mages anyways. Those put a body onto the board. Like we're not that far off. Is there other hand traps for burn? I played Sword Soul. Yeah, I mean, sure. Gores. The problem with those cards is you have to take the damage for them. No battle? Which card stops me from having a battle phase? No, I have a battle phase. Young Kuribo. Oh yeah, that works. Kuri Photon. You have to pay 2,000 life points for Kuri Photon. Are you mad? Like, I activate it. I have 25 life points left. They chain anything, and I just die. Is he? I'm not ignoring Leonidas. I have 2 super rare crafting points, and it's a super rare. All right, so I can't do it. We definitely need a rank 4 that's bigger than Leonidas. Not crazy box, preferably. 3 level 4 monsters, 3 level 4 monsters. Crab. Oh yeah, Crab King. Crab King. Utopia. Oh yeah, Utopia is game, right? If you just go lightning. I don't have a Utopia? No, I'm not doing that. That's also an ultra rare. Structure. Even then I don't want the structure deck. There's also this card is not in the structure deck, so screw that. Number 70. It doesn't really matter. Rain Goat. Dude, why does Performapal and Performage just randomly have so many anti-burn cards? What the hell is that about? Chain Energy? What is Chain Energy? We could also just gain some life points. Is there anything? Penguin guard. Oh. Guard penguin. When you take damage from a card effect, special summon this card. And if you do, gain life points. Okay. Speed burst. Sure. When your opponent activates a monster effect that would inflict damage, discard this card, negate the activation. When an opponent's monster declares a direct... I guess there is some monster effects. Our deck is so annoying right now. It's great. When your opponent activates a card or effect that would inflict effect damage to you, your opponent takes the damage instead. Delta goes crazy. I'm not putting Cyframes into my deck. No. 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 I think Leonidas would be good. Let me check if I have some super rares I can get rid of to make Leonidas. I have 4 of this. Almost there. Nope, not there yet. One more. All right. Sure, I'll make Leonidas. Not even a royal. Play a Nightmare Cerberus. I'm just filling out the extra deck with random shit. Whatever. It's a good investment for the burn event 2026 and 2027. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay. Let's play. What's the last card? Some normal summon beater. I mean, we have We have normal summons. We have Echo. We have Damage Juggler. We have Flame Eater. We have Firecracker. Those are all like level 4 normal summons that are big enough to win in 2 swings. Joker, search Raingoat. Sure, we'll play a Joker. Oh, God. All right, good. Now they're afraid. Now they don't have opponents for me anymore. Okay, now. All right, go. Burn me. Burn me. I'm not afraid. What? No. Come on. Oh. Great. The rain goat. Love that for me. Bro, why are you playing Labyrinth? Okay, I see. I'm being sniped. Okay, what deck are you sniping me with this time? Their username is Revive Ronin. Surely a coincidence. Bro, I cook anyone with a burn deck. I cook anyone with a burn deck. It's not burn. It's freaking. Is it Paleozoics? Aha. Come forth, hat tricker. Oh. There's no way. There's no way this works. What does this mean? That's what you get. That's what you get for stream sniping. Can I check deck? Okay, to be fair, it was a real deck for the event, right? They tried to do Trickstar things. They just happened to draw 3 Imperms and Maxi. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, can this work like once? Can this please work once so we didn't build it all for nothing? Can I please just like obliterate someone with the burn deck? Please? Come on, just be a burn deck. Be a burn deck. Come on. Okay, that's scary because it loses life points. Hate that for me. Okay. It's a burn deck. It's a burn deck. Oh, we can't lose. Surely we can't lose. Uh, 500. Each player takes 500 damage. What? I think I'll take it. I'll take it. Wait, but they can negate this with damage juggler, right? And I know they have damage juggler because I can see it. This was kind of dumb. Firecracker. That's not gonna work on me. Because I got the rain goat. Ha! Whee! What is that set card? 25 life points, by the way. You're a little late to the party, aren't you? Boom! Oh wait, they have damage juggler. Never mind. I forgot damage juggler. I forgot damage juggler. Okay, well we'll win next turn. Goblin thief. Wait, why is this revealed? Drawn while this card's effect is applied. Okay. Oh! At the end of the battle phase, if this card battled and your life points is less than 4,000, your life points becomes 4,000. Uh-oh. Oh my, I should have just attacked with 2 monsters last turn. Ugh. Bro, that's so much life point they just gained. Ooh. Rain goat. Alright, I'll pass. I'll get you next turn. When your Time Lord is gone. Tremendous fire. Well, that's not gonna help you much. Uh-huh. Hey, what was that? That's another Flame Eater. 1600 defense. Come on. Let me have it. Man. I'm gonna cry if they draw another contract. Oh, oh, what does this do? Oh, can you please lose the game? Okay, so if I normal summon Flame Eater, they're gonna take 500. I won't. Josh make Spider. How do I make? How do I make a rank 4 right now? Oh, with Eco? Ah. Hold up. No, I can't. I take no damage. I could make Nightmare Cerberus though, but then my Leonidas is gone. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also does not work. Bro, I just have to hope At least if they draw the second copy of this card now, we both die. Bro! Ah! Fighter! Yes! Bro, that was kind of fun. Man, we fought hard for that pack. We fought very, very hard for this pack, and we deserve this ultra rare. We worked for it. Nightmare Griffin, let's go. I already have that, but that's a good card. Nice. Hey, that was kind of fun. That was kind of fun. Yeah. One more anti-burn? All right, sure. We have everything. Please be a burn deck, please. Burn me, please. I don't like this. No, what does this mean? Please burn me. I don't like where this is going. I got my own pot of extravagance. I always banish my one cowboy, but I'm not going to make another one. Ah, there we go. Secret barrel. Okay, so that's going to be... When you take damage from a card effect, special summon this card, gain life points. Okay, I think I want to take this and then regain it. Wait, why does not work? Oh, it misses timing. Okay, fine. Fine, fine, fine. Finally, okay. This if you play against the burn deck with this deck, it's fun. You've drawn Pot of Desires with Pot of Extravagance 2 out of 2 times. Yeah, that's just what I do. That's just my thing. Play Bro Drew. What, Trickstar? I don't have any of those cards. I don't think. Oh my god, my hand is nasty. Bro made his username, or they made their username fire equals you boring, and then queued True Draco in the 2025 Life Point event without an extra X, so I'm assuming there's like freaking, what's it called? Monarchs Erupt in here. What do you mean by this? M. Pody, thank you so much for the first time sub. Appreciate you. Thank you. Welcome to the channel, and thank you for your support. I can't beat that. I cannot beat one monster. Unless I draw a Hat Tricker. I could theoretically beat it. That is not Hat Tricker. I lost. Fire equals you boring. Anyway, activate Dragonic Diagram. The fuck? Okay, we're not playing. We should have stopped when it was like when we peaked, right? When the third game to win the pack, we pulled an ultra rare. We had a super fun game against another burn deck. Why did we keep going? Why did we keep going? Kashtira is burn. Rice Heart burns your deck. I see. What is this sequencing? What the fuck? What is this black magic? And still Mill's unicorn. Double flare combo. This is not Red Eye's flare metal dragon. IP is a burn card. I don't even want to know the explanation you have. What the? Huh? I'm so close. We also just teleported 100 years in the past. Cowboy? Yeah, but I can't make Cowboy if I use Damage Juggler and search Hat Tricker. I don't have two monsters anymore. Or there are no two monsters anymore. Ish. How was Germany doing in 1925, Josh? I don't know. I wasn't there. Yeah. We take those, huh? We take those. Dude. Bro, this is just a normal Kashira deck with one soul absorption. So like they didn't, it's not like they queued up their regular deck into the event. They were like, hey, how can I change my favorite deck, which is Kashira's? I love it. How can I make it perfect for this event? Oh, I know. I'm gonna put one copy of Soul Absorption. This is even worse than just playing your normal deck in this event. Like, there's not even a Red Eye's Flare Metal in here. There's just one Soul Absorption for a crossout, probably. Oh, man. All right. That's enough. That's enough for me. We end on a high note. We end on a win. That's all right. That's all right. Oh, we can try to pull a royal fountain for one last time in 2024. I have 1,000 gems. I just noticed that. Hold up. We just need to unlock the pack real quick. So we're gonna dismantle some super rares to craft a flashing fire. Lucky. I don't have enough gems to buy another pack of 10. Any upgrades, please? Oh, let's go. Oh! Valorant with the 3 gifties. Appreciate that, I suppose. Please, I appreciate that. Thank you for the 13 one. No! Come on, dude! I looked at so many runic cards flip over right now. So many of them. And then the last card in the thing is a... Oh, a generator boss fight, man. A generator boss fight. Bro. Oh, Oh well. Oh well. I'm happy to announce that that means that 2025 is the year of the Royal Fountain. I thought 2024 was the year of the Royal Fountain, but I was wrong. I was wrong. It was actually 2025. It was actually 2025. $2025 is going to be, I'll tell you about the timeline, all right? I'll tell you about the timeline. We're going to get Royal Runic Fountain in 2025. We're going to be super happy about it. And then they're going to bring Runic Fountain back to 2, which is going to be one of the best days of 2025, but also it's going to be frustrating because then we're now left with a mismatching playset of one non-royal and one royal. So we're going to have to keep going. And then 2026 is going to be the year of the second Royal Fountain. Yes, yes, you might not want to hear it, but that is the truth. That is the truth. Yeah. 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 Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. All right, you guys. This was fun. I think we're calling it a day here. I don't really have anything else planned for today. But before we head off, I just wanted to say a couple things. I mean, it is the last stream of the year. No reason to get all sentimental, but still, I'm gonna be back in a couple of days. We're gonna have a stream. I'm gonna take a couple of days off on New Year's to spend time with family. But I'm gonna be back. We're gonna have 4th of January. We're gonna cast a tournament in Germany on this channel. It's hopefully going to be a relatively big tournament. It's the tournament of the Three Kings, or Turnier der Heiligen Drei Könige. You guys, if you are from Germany and you're looking to take part in that tournament, you can go !HDK to see if it's close to you and if there's any tickets left if you want to play in it. If you are not playing in it, then you are all very welcome to join me here on this channel to watch it and commentate it. We're going to commentate it in English. So that's going to be a fun stream. We're kicking off the year with a little bit of a tournament coverage and a little bit of a sneak peek at the current format. You know, I think that's going to be fun. And other than that, I'm not sure if that's going to be the first stream of the year. I might go live on the 2nd or the 3rd. I haven't really decided yet. But I might be live on 2nd or 3rd. Haven't really made plans for it yet, but we'll definitely be live on the 4th, and then start doing the regular streaming schedule the week after again. Like, we're gonna be back to normal. We have a lot of fun things coming in early 2025 as well. Like things like we're gonna have monthly tournaments in Master Duel that I'm gonna be hosting and providing a prize pool for, because we also will start doing Patreon in early 2025 and YouTube memberships. So those tournaments are going to be like part of that, as well as, like, you know, Twitch subs and all that. So that's going to be fun, and a lot of other fun things are going to be planned for those things. So look forward to doing all of that with you guys in 2025. 2024 was a great year for me personally in terms of content creation, so I'm happy you guys are as supportive as you guys are and watching the channel as much as you guys did in 2024. I'm hoping to be able to up the quality of content in 2025 a little bit. So I hope you're all looking forward to that. Until then, thank you all so much for watching in 2024. Hope you guys have a wonderful New Year's day, whatever you are choosing to do on that day, whether you spend it with at home or at a party or with friends or with family or whatever you do. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys early next year. Let me see what our last raid of the day of the year is gonna be. Let me see who's live right now. I can send you guys over to Trish. I'll send you guys over to Trish. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your year. I'll see you guys early January. And thank you guys so much for watching. And for all of your support as usual. I appreciate you guys for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. Hope you had a good time. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Peace.